stars.
We had 4 hurricanes hit the state of Florida in a matter of 6 weeks.
Florida, under siege by storms.
Oh, no. It's turned around. It's coming back.
Back-to-back hurricanes taught us life lessons.
These are so crucial.
From flooding to technology.
We have limits for the aircraft as far as the amount of G's we're able to pull.
We certainly learned our lesson.
Now,
It better prepared us.
a WPBF 25 first warning weather special, Hurricane Ready, with Chief Certified Meteorologist Chris Martinez.
Welcome to the House of Refuge, the oldest structure in Martin County. Now a museum, it once was a haven for shipwrecked sailors and travelers. It's weathered a lot of storms, including Hurricanes Francis and Jean that hit 3 weeks apart nearly 20 years ago. Both hurricanes made landfall in 2004, causing widespread destruction. MacArthur Boulevard was washed out, stranding people here on Hutchinson Island. The storms were a devastating blow to the Treasure Coast and Palm Beach County. Let's take a look back at the historic year.
Sustained winds for this very large, powerful storm are about 145 miles an hour.
Hurricane season 2004 was an epic year. We had 4 hurricanes hit the state of Florida in a matter of 6 weeks.
It feels like it was yesterday.
We need you to open. We got children.
Caroline was just a year old. And saying goodbye to her and saying goodbye to my husband on that day when I knew I was coming in and I would be here for 3 or 4 days on end, that was hard.
Mommy.
That was the beginning of a new chapter in storm coverage, and knowing that each of these times that I come into work to cover a storm, I'm going to be leaving my family behind.
I remember sitting on the set because with Hurricane Francis, we were on the air for days before the storm even made landfall.
Right at the corner, there's another one of those lines down from the traffic light.
Hurricane Francis made landfall on September 5th here in South Florida as a Category 2 storm near Sewell's Point.
We were broadcasting for several days without any commercial breaks, just going wall to wall.
Yesterday, she went 8 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. What they call wall-to-wall coverage.
And as the storm started coming on shore,
We lost power.
We don't want anyone going out in the middle of this
Now we're listening
and
to
shooting their own
simulcast.
video.
I ended up being on the set without a break for 17 hours.
Number 2, this is Jean.
And then here we go again. Hurricane Jean looks like she's coming for round 2 to finish off what Hurricane Francis didn't. And we were scared this time because Jean was a 2. Hurricane Francis was expected to be a major Category 3.
I think it's a cruel joke.
Nearly 3 weeks later, we were going to get hit again in almost exactly the same spot near Sewell's Point, September 25th, by Hurricane Jean.
As we speak, there is another rain band coming through.
We were without power for so long, for so many weeks. And everywhere you looked, there was so much damage, and all you saw were blue tarps on top of roofs because everyone had damage to their homes.
3 weeks ago, we drove out of our house to come here. We were crying, the other kind of crying, because everything was still here. It was amazing. We couldn't believe it was here. Now it's all gone.
I was born and raised in Florida. I have been through a lot of storms, but I've never been through a season like 2004.
The waves are already coming up higher onto the shore. As you can see that it's getting kind of tough to stand out here.
When you think back 20 years ago, so many of our viewers hadn't experienced a hurricane, especially a Category 2 like Hurricane Francis, or even a Category 3, a very strong hurricane like Hurricane Jean. There was so much good that came out of that storm, but we certainly learned our lesson. You know, we learned a lot from Hurricanes Francis and Jean, and it better prepared us for now.
These massive hurricanes laid the groundwork for new regulations to help keep people safe. Meteorologist Glenn Glazer checked in with one of the men at the center of the storm.
It has a little bit of citrus flavor. It's our most We sell more of this than anything else.
These days, Keith Holman spends a lot of time with his family, and he's got a booming and relaxing business that operates right out of his garage.
My hives, basically, they're feeding off of backyard gardens. So it's more floral, has sort of a floral taste to it.
But in 2004, he was the director of the Martin County Emergency Operations Center, and right in the middle of it all.
2004 rolls around. There really hadn't been a significant hurricane in Florida for quite some time before that.
Charlie
was right before.
And that was a great, I got the opportunity to go over for that and took my director, Bill O'Brien. And that was a good eye-opener for them to be on a hurricane site of that significance.
That year, the Bermuda High, an area of high pressure in the Atlantic that acts as the steering mechanism for storms, began sending storms towards South Florida. And then there was Hurricane Francis.
The forecast track is pretty laid out. There wasn't a lot of variation.
No, it was pretty straight on.
Keith got the Martin County EOC ready with personnel and supplies, and then Francis slammed into the coast.
We were in the old Emergency Operations Center, which was basically a bomb shelter built back in the 60s, 70s, way too small for the number of people that ended up in there. We had probably 50, 80 people in there. Our air conditioning went out during the event itself.
Hours of heavy rainfall and winds took their toll.
It was coastal, mobile home parks, a lot of awnings blown off, screen rooms obviously taken out, roof damage, branches, twigs, trees.
But 3 weeks later, after doing a loop out in the Atlantic...
Oh, no. It's turned around. It's coming back. It's like, my God.
Hurricane Jeanne made landfall. And after it was all over...
We obviously saw more roof damage, additional damage to screen rooms that were already previously damaged by Francis were weakened and then really ripped apart with Jeanne.
It was a devastating time for South Florida, and after 20 years, there are still some things that haven't changed.
I think today we know it as Citizens, which is the insurance company of last resort, which is a government system that if you can't get insurance from commercial sources, you can do this.
Former Congressman Ron Klein helped to pass a bipartisan bill in the House to fix Florida insurance 2 decades ago, but it never made it to becoming a law.
Today, people who maybe don't have mortgages are saying, oh, I'll roll the dice. But people who need insurance, it's becoming really a factor of, I don't know if I can live in Florida.
But there were some good lessons learned, for example, allowing media into the EOCs to get information out faster.
So we were doing media briefs in the middle of the operations room. We were like, just stop.
Everybody's on the phone.
Okay, stop, quiet. We're gonna do an interview right now. We just used that room for the interviews, which allowed the media to stay there during the event.
And changes like requiring gas stations to have generators, early preparations for vegetation, and burying power lines.
I think that's wonderful. With the tree trimming programs, with the, and some of the, I guess a lot is going to an underground, finding that that's certainly more sustainable. I think there's wonderful changes.
And as far as life in retirement,
so this is much more relaxing than being the director of the EOC.
Well, yeah. People versus bees.
Now we'll look at what we're expecting this year. NOAA's predicting a very active season. 17 to 25 named storms, 8 to 13 could become hurricanes. This includes 4 to 7 major hurricanes. Back in April, Colorado State University issued their forecast with 23 named storms with an average of 14. One big change you'll see this year includes the infamous cone. Not only will you see where the storm could be headed, but also see the potential impacts the storm could bring.
The cone. It's the 4-letter word you hear constantly during hurricane season.
Before now, all you could see was the cone, and it gets pretty narrow in that 36 to 48 hour time period when watches and warnings are issued, and a hurricane's not a point.
This year, there will be changes. Now the National Hurricane Center will include inland watches and warnings, not only coastal watches and warnings.
It's going to give you a better indication of what your wind risk is going to be, whether you're in an area that really needs to start preparing for the storm. Again, when we get in that watch warning time period, 36 to 48 hours out, again, it will help to highlight who's at the greatest risk.
It's not only wind, but storm surge is also a threat.
On the east coast side of Florida, you can get very impactful events associated with storm surge, and it can occur within those intercoastal waterways, especially up those rivers as well. Yeah, so it's not just a coastal problem. It can certainly occur further inland as well as you get into the tributaries, the rivers, and the intercoastal waterways.
Watches and warnings will now be issued every 3 hours instead of only 4 times a day. And finally, there will be another language besides English.
The key messages that we put out with our advisory products will all now be in Spanish.
Palm Beach County encompasses almost 2,500 square miles. More than 1.5 million people call it home. I talked to the woman in charge of keeping everyone on point in the 3rd largest county in Florida. In an emergency, the EOC in Palm Beach County becomes a bustling hub. Director Mary Blakeney says every seat in this room is filled. So in this place, you really have representatives from all facets of the county.
Absolutely.
From crucial problem solving to disaster logistics.
I'm concerned that maybe these new individuals that have moved into our community, or even those that have been here a long time, haven't taken time to be prepared. It's so important.
And to be prepared, you have to understand the impacts.
It's all of those individual hazards that make up a hurricane, whether that be the threat of tornadoes or flooding.
And knowing those hazards and information is imperative. The EOC has a quick, free way to sign up.
We have a mass communication system that we use for public safety emergencies called Alert PBC. Individuals can go to alertpbc.com to register.
With an active season predicted, the EOC had extra training exercises with staff in case there's a long recovery period after a massive hurricane.
Now is the time to be prepared. If everybody is prepared, the amount of stress and the ability to recover quickly is greater for our community.
These are so crucial for flood prevention.
Find out where all that water goes. Plus, are you at risk for storm surge? And we're myth busting. Here's number 1.
Do you need to evacuate hundreds of miles away? No, all you have to do if you live in an evacuation zone is move 10 to 20 miles outside of that zone.
WPBF 25 First Warning Weather, certified most accurate for 11 years.
When I was your age, we never had anything like this.
What, Wi-Fi?
Wi-Fi that works all over the house, even the basement.
The basement? So I can finally throw that party and invite Shannon Barnes.
Dreams do come true. That's wall-to-wall Wi-Fi with Xfinity. Get started with Xfinity Internet for $35 a month for 12 months and get free Wi-Fi equipment included. Or ask how to save $1,000 over T-Mobile in your first year when you add mobile. Switch today.
There were 2 guys. Both guys drove to work. Neither guy wore their seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. Both guys drove home from work. One guy wore his seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. One guy didn't.
Elevate your sleep comfort during the City Mattress Memorial Day sale and get a free adjustable bed base with select mattresses. Discover their amazing benefits, plus get interest-free financing today at City Mattress.
Being in a car accident can turn your life upside down. I'm Mark Anajar from the Law Office of Anajar and Levine, and we know firsthand how a car accident can leave you injured with mounting medical expenses. And with so much information out there, choosing the right attorney can be overwhelming. We encourage you to read our reviews and learn about the many people we've helped take back control of their lives. Call us at 1-800-747-FREE for a consultation.
At FPL, we're working every day year-round for storm season. To get ready, visit fpl.com/storm for a storm guide and download the FPL mobile app for real-time updates. FPL, working for you every single day.
When smoking gives you COPD, you learn to lie a little bit. You make up excuses like, I have to get my keys. You guys go on. Anything so you can walk at your own pace. I used to do that all the time. Those lies don't work anymore. My tip is, the worst lies are the lies you tell yourself, like smoking isn't that dangerous.
Tobacco Free Florida offers free nicotine replacement therapy to help start your quit journey. Call 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW.
You're watching a WPBF 25 First Warning Weather Special, Hurricane Ready.
storm surge could affect you. This map of Florida from the National Hurricane Center shows it's not just a beachfront problem. The risk extends miles inland in some areas. In order to protect your home from flooding, we talked to the people in charge of getting rid of all that water. Meteorologist Glenn Glazer walks us through it.
When many of us think of past hurricane seasons, we think of incredibly powerful winds, downing trees and knocking out power. Tornadoes spawn in feeder bands as they move across land. And of course, the costliest and deadliest impact of all.
One of the biggest threats we face from a tropical system is flooding. So how does the water get from your neighborhood into these canals and eventually out into the ocean? It takes a lot of people and a lot of coordination.
We've got a little more than 1,400 personnel at the South Florida Water Management District.
And there's a lot of water to control.
It consists of more than 2,100 miles of canals, more than 2,000 miles of levees and berms. We've got more than 600 water control structures like this one here that control the flow of water and the height of canals.
And as Jason Schultz from the South Florida Water Management District and Tommy Stroud, director of the Lake Worth Drainage District, told us, it's all to protect our businesses, our homes, and our lives.
Our primary missions are flood protection. You can kind of think of it like an interstate system.
So how does it all work?
Most of our water control structures and most of our systems are they're not powered by pumps, they're gravity operated.
Right.
So you need the water upstream to be higher so that it flows downstream.
So these are so crucial for flood prevention every day here in South Florida, but also when a storm comes in. They're huge.
Yeah, this is the primary tool that we have to lower these water levels in anticipation of a storm and create capacity for all that water to flow into the stormwater systems and then eventually into our canals.
And those lakes and ponds in your neighborhood, they aren't just decorative.
Those lakes were intended to be the place that stormwater runoff from urban communities would be stored in temporarily.
But it may be up to your neighborhood to get those water levels lowered.
It is important for homeowners to know who their primary drainage provider is so that if you have a problem during a storm or before a storm, you know who to contact.
Our primary role is to coordinate with those communities on just exactly that issue.
And did you know there's another line of defense against flooding? It's your street.
When you see your drainage swale with water in it, and you see water in the road, that's actually the flood control system working. The idea of what we're trying to protect is your property.
So take a few minutes now and help protect your neighborhood against flooding.
Check your culverts, look at your storm drains, make sure there's not vegetation that could clog it to prevent water from going in it.
Now to Martin County, where they know the risks that come with major storms. 20 years ago, they were targeted by both Hurricanes Francis and Jeanne. Meteorologist Sandra Shaw has the story.
The EOC in Martin County is expanded and upgraded and is ready for action. And it's a good thing, says Director Sally Waite.
It's not just the amount of people, it's the amount of people that have never been through a hurricane.
Different in Martin County this year, shelters. The two that will close are Seawind and Hidden Oaks Elementary. They're being replaced by new ones, Jensen Beach and Palm City Elementary Schools. Waite says there will be plenty of space.
We're just really drilling it, like, be prepared, know where to go. Shelter's your last resort, just all of those things, when we issue an evacuation, you need to go.
This is especially critical for Martin County because of its geographic position to the rest of South Florida.
When we evacuate, we have to wait for Monroe County and Broward County and Palm Beach County, and we have to really time that out. That has to be, coordinated with all the other counties because most people, obviously go to the north.
This is just one storm preparedness arena that Waite and her team are focusing on. Prepping now for what could come later is also the message the EOC wants to send out.
To look ahead and to plan and prepare like they would and just not be caught off guard and know that it's hurricane season.
That drone technology really tells us what we're up against.
The steps it takes to get your power back on, and the supplies you're going to need to stock up on. But first, here's myth number 2.
Should I tape my window? No, because the tape does not provide any protection against flying debris.
WPBF 25's Hurricane Ready is sponsored by New South Window Solutions.
Our southern weather is unpredictable.
We know you've seen a thing or two.
Like heavy rainstorms, extreme heat, and flying debris.
Your New South windows are custom built for your home and designed for extreme conditions.
That's why you need New South by your side.
Enjoy comfort, safety, and security.
We install peace of mind with our lifetime guarantee. Superior Windows, Factory Direct.
New South proud.
For a limited time only, save 35% off all windows and doors.
Is it finally time to replace that banged up floor with a durable and beautiful laminate floor? Well, we've got you covered. At National Floors Direct, you can get an entire room of laminate flooring installed the next day for just $555. Just $555. These laminate floors from world famous Shaw can take a beating and still look great. Call 888-400-FLOOR. Get your laminate floor installed the next day, no hidden extras, and no interest for 1 year. Call 888-400-FLOOR. We'll bring the store to your door.
Every homeowner needs a roofing partner at some point.
Our team at Global Roofing brings the necessary qualifications, experience, and dedication to your job.
You can count on our exceptional service and attention to detail. Our experienced Global Roofing team can help you navigate the insurance claim process and deliver a superior roof replacement. When you think of roofing, think local and go global. Visit goglobalroofing.com or call to get a free, no-obligation roofing inspection.
Hey Palm Beach, are you ready for the home show? Coming to you May 24th to the 27th. Experience South Florida's top brands, shop exclusive deals, and meet HETV's Mika and Brian all in one location. Visit the Palm Beach Home Designer Remodeling Show May 24th to the 27th at the Palm Beach County Convention Center. Visit homeshows.com.
It's the unofficial return of the picnic. Unofficial return of more sunshine. Unofficial return to the water. Memorial Day is the unofficial start of summer. Now at AutoNation Cadillac, it's our official Memorial Day sale. Take advantage of your favorite new 2024 Cadillac Lyriq for just $399 a month. That's right, just $399 a month. Go to AutoNation Cadillac today. What drives you, drives us.
There were two guys. Both guys drove to work. Neither guy wore their seatbelt. One guy got a ticket, one guy didn't. Both guys drove home from work. One guy wore his seatbelt, one guy didn't. One guy made it home. One guy didn't.
Florida Power and Light is prepped and ready. Meteorologist Brooke Silverang found out how they get you out of the dark after a storm.
This is that opportunity for us to communicate with the grid and understand, are you able to receive power?
This is Smart Grid technology, an interactive system showing all power grids in Florida, which means FPL no longer has to go house to house to see if your power is out.
So typically following a major storm, we're able to know about 24 hours after the storm clears our area, how long it's going to take to get that power back on.
To do that, we start with critical facilities like hospitals, 911 call centers, police and fire stations. From there, we move to main thoroughfares that have your gas stations, your pharmacies, your supermarkets, all that critical community function that a community needs for their restoration.
On top of restoring power to critical infrastructures, they're also working to get you out of the dark and back in the AC. And drones like this will be positioned in areas that are hardest hit after the storm. Drones make it possible to see damage along roadways and to get to areas blocked by water or debris.
That drone technology really tells us what we're up against so we can get the right equipment, the right things that we need to respond as soon as we're able to safely do so.
Number 1, charge up.
They're the wave of the future, but will they hold up in water? Plus,
I don't want people to use historical storms as a way to guide their future decision.
The key factors that trigger storm surge. But first, here's myth number 3.
So I live outside of the cone. Am I safe from the effects? The cone actually has nothing to do with impacts, only the average track error over the past 5 years. For instance, in 2017 during Hurricane Irma, you see the cone and the storm went up the west coast of Florida, but its effects expanded all the way to the east coast.
Are you ready to make junk disappear?
I am so looking forward to this.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point. Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK
or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
We'll be there before you hang up the phone.
WPBF 25 First Warning Weather, certified most accurate for 11 years.
Waiting for the right time to buy a vinyl floor? Well, right now at National Floors Direct, you can get an entire room of luxury vinyl flooring installed the next day for just $788. Just $788. Today, vinyl flooring is luxurious. It looks and feels like real wood, tile, or stone, but it's durable, waterproof, and soft underfoot. Call 888-400-FLOOR and get a luxury vinyl floor from world-famous Shaw with no interest for a full year. Call 888-400-FLOOR and we'll bring the store to your door.
Being involved in an accident can make you feel like you've lost control. It can impact your life physically and financially. And with so much information out there, choosing the right attorney can be overwhelming. I'm Mark Anajar at the Law Office of Anajar & Levine, and we encourage you to do your research before making any decisions. Read our reviews and learn about the many people we've helped take back control of their lives. Call us at 1-800-747-FREE for a consultation.
That is not possible. It's just not, right? From smoking? No way. This can't be real. That's what I thought too when the doctors told me that I had Berger's disease. And it cut off my blood flow, and I had to have my toes removed because I smoked. But here's a tip for you. It's real.
Tobacco-Free Florida offers free nicotine replacement therapy to help start your quit journey. Call 1-877-YOU-CAN now.
Planet Oats so creamy and not watery like.
Exactly, and unsweetened, has 0 grams of sugar.
And don't forget, it's an excellent source of calcium. Wow, Planet Oat really has it all. You guys are so right. No, you are. No, you are. No, you are. Yeah, you are.
Ever since I was little, I was always in and out of the dentist for fillings, root canals, I had braces. I met Dr. Northick. He would be the only person I would ever allow to do such an intense procedure like that. And now after, I just feel over the moon and so happy. It just feels so natural, like real teeth again. I don't even think about it that they're there. And I'm super excited to just kind of wake up, brush and water floss and go.
Are you ready to make junk disappear?
I am so looking forward to this.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point. Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK
or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
We'll be there before you hang up the phone.
Slicing through the eye wall of hurricanes to sailing in massive waves. Meteorologist Glenn Glazer traveled to Orlando to unlock the mysteries behind the most powerful storms on Earth.
We have limits for the aircraft as far as the amount of G's we're able to pull. We can get up close to those limits on a lot of storms, and sometimes we do exceed those and we have to come back.
They fly into some of the most powerful storms on Earth for a living.
I'm the navigator on board. All right. This aircraft, we call it Kermit. We have one more P3 like this called Miss Piggy.
And every position on this aircraft,
I sit right here as the flight engineer, which is the subject matter expert on all the systems of the aircraft,
is as crucial as the next.
I'm an aerospace engineer with NOAA Hurricane Hunters.
And they do this dangerous job so they can get data about the storm and send it back to us.
Dropsondes are our primary tool. They sample the atmosphere, temperature, pressure, humidity, wind speed, wind direction.
But they aren't flying in the lap of luxury. These planes are bare bones, and it's a bumpy ride.
We have stickers for each hurricane the aircraft has been through, and there's 129 of those, 129 different hurricanes.
And which storm was the roughest of them all?
Everyone that has been through the storm says it's definitely Hurricane Ian. It was a very intense storm.
I've been doing this job for 8 years, and that was certainly the worst storm that I've been through.
Humans aren't the only things venturing into these dangerous conditions.
Here we have a glider, a sea glider, that goes into the ocean and makes repeated dives in the water before, during, and after a hurricane passes.
And how about a drone that can maneuver through massive waves right into the heart of a storm?
It's really just an autonomous sailboat, designed to collect ocean data and stream it in real time via satellite.
The sail drone gets its power from the sun, and it creates its own power for its instruments.
This is a hydro generator, so as long as it's sailing, this will spin and it will give a little extra battery recharge.
So what do we do with all of this information? Well, we use it to create forecasts that are more and more accurate every year.
Over the last couple decades, we've been able to take advantage of really significant track improvements from the National Hurricane Center.
Those improvements help meteorologists at the Weather Prediction Center zero in on rainfall amounts.
They give us a realistic depiction of those high-end amounts. You know, could you get a foot, 2 feet of rain in a given area?
Some of the biggest advancements can be seen in the forecasting of the most dangerous impact of hurricanes, storm surge.
The Weather Service has really gone on this endeavor to kind of improve the way we communicate storm surge.
So if a storm approaches, you'll be seeing updated peak surge maps and flooding maps. But even with all of this improved technology, getting impactful messages to the public is still a challenge.
I saw a lot of people kind of respond to Ian as if they've experienced another hurricane like Irma or Charlie and thought because they've lived through that they'll be fine with Hurricane Ian. And where it makes landfall means everything. How big a storm is means everything. It's not just the winds. So there's a lot of different factors that go into how high water can be, how far inland it can extend. And I don't want people to use historical storms as a way to guide their future decision.
Now Glenn takes us to St. Lucie County with their message to the community.
So this is our Douglas M. Anderson Emergency Operations Center. It's named after our former County Administrator Doug Anderson, who was our administrator during Francis and Jean.
This is the St. Lucie County Emergency Operations Center, and it's from here the county orchestrates everything that helps keep its residents safe during hurricane season.
We'll have as many as 100 people in here from the utility agencies, state, our health department, our volunteers, our PIOs, the law enforcement agencies will all be in here.
It's in this room at the Operations Center where the major coordinated decisions are made. And throughout the building, walls and walls of maps.
Basically, our shelters, our staging areas, points of distribution, evacuation routes, so it's kind of a comprehensive county map.
But not everything can be done from here. Some things you have to do on your own, like figuring out if you're in an evacuation zone or registering ahead of time if you need a shelter that accommodates special needs. And always have a plan.
Making sure you know if you have to evacuate, where are you guys going to evacuate? Make sure that we know, that the family knows what kind of items are going to be needed for a emergency kit. And just discussing if, points of contacts outside of the area that is being threatened by a hurricane.
More than 150,000 Floridians drive electric vehicles, but during a storm, there could be some challenges. Meteorologist Sandra Shaw looked into if the new wave of the future will actually work.
More than 20 electric vehicles burst into flames during Hurricane Ian.
So what is it about the electric vehicles? It's the battery. It's located underneath, and the salt water from storm surge submerged the batteries. Fire ensued, and it wasn't just the initial blaze. Spontaneous combustion happened in numerous vehicles afterwards, so much so that for them to cool down, they had to be separated 50 feet apart in a field.
Fire officials say it takes 8,000 gallons of water to cool an EV battery, 10 to 12 times more than a regular car that's on fire. Just recently, Florida State Fire Marshal Jimmy Petronas announced a new initiative to protect firefighters.
We are starting the process. It's called rulemaking. This is where we're going to bring all these stakeholders together. We're going to bring the EV manufacturers, the lithium-ion battery manufacturers, the recycle manufacturers, the technology companies, and we're going to start to create the best policies moving forward.
Last year, first responders, along with state officials, met with lithium-ion industry leaders to discuss safe handling and emergency response techniques. Meanwhile, FPL has stepped up when it comes to safety.
Number one, charge up.
They're getting the word out about how to handle your EV when a storm's approaching.
You should keep your vehicle in an elevated location, definitely away from any power poles, power lines, or vegetation.
And after the storm has passed,
you want to make sure you hire a professional to come and inspect the vehicle before you charge it.
FPL is upping their own game with a new resource for drivers.
What's right behind me is our charging trailer. So this one is a great new tool in our storm preparedness toolkit, which allows us to extend charging capabilities at locations where we have charging already.
The trailer can charge 6 vehicles at a time. They will likely be deployed to Turnpike service plazas.
Certainly after a storm, if there were the need for charging in areas that are damaged, for instance,
we could roll one of these trailers and provide that charging.
FPL is trying to simplify things before disaster strikes.
The FPL Evolution app and our map on fpl.com/EV provides you with a list of chargers that are available. You can also get push notifications on the app to see if they're operational, available, and that makes it easy for folks who are wanting to charge, especially if they evacuate or after a storm.
When there's an evacuation, FDOT will execute its emergency shoulder use plan. Drivers would be allowed to use the shoulder lanes on I-95 between Jupiter and Jacksonville, the turnpike between Hypoluxo to Osceola Parkway in Kissimmee, and I-75 between Broward and Collier counties. All drivers except trailers, buses, and large trucks can use the shoulders.
Ahead, how you can tell if you're in an evacuation zone. And if you lose cable, see the other way you can stay tuned in. But first, myth number 4.
All right, here's the myth. A slight wiggle in the track doesn't matter. Well, that could be true over water, but as we get closer to land, Hurricane Irma proved that as it wiggled 30 miles off the southwest Florida coast. That made the difference between a few feet of storm surge versus 9.
South Florida is watching WPBF 25.
It's the unofficial return to grilling. Unofficial return of more sunshine. Unofficial return to the water. Memorial Day is the unofficial start of summer. Now at AutoNation Chevrolet, it's our official Memorial Day sale. Take advantage of a new 2024 Chevrolet Silverado with up to $20,000 off or 1.9% financing. Go to AutoNation Chevrolet today. What drives you drives us.
Every homeowner needs a roofing partner at some point.
Our team at Global Roofing brings the necessary qualifications, experience, and dedication to your job.
You can count on our exceptional service and attention to detail. Our experienced Global Roofing team can help you navigate the insurance claim process and deliver a superior roof replacement. When you think of roofing, think local and go global. Visit goglobalroofing.com or call to get a free, no-obligation roofing inspection.
I love my work caring for people. I often assist women who struggle with urinary incontinence, women who have fallen trying to reach the bathroom, or who have damaged skin from too much wetness. It can take a toll on them. At home, I worried for my mother. A lack of sleep due to bladder leakage affected her life. That's why I'm so glad the PureWick system is available for home use. It's an innovative option for women who experience moderate to severe bladder leakage. This external system uses a soft, flexible wick placed outside the body to draw urine away from the body and into a collection canister. It's non-invasive and designed to keep the skin dry and stay in place. We trust it to help her throughout the night, so we're all better rested and can enjoy the things we love together.
Order yours online at PureWickAtHome.com or call 800-457-5030. Call 800-457-5030 today.
Throughout our 60 years, City Mattress sleep experts have helped thousands sleep better by pairing them with their perfect mattress, adjustable bed base, or bedroom furniture. During our Memorial Day sale, they'll also help you discover tremendous values and amazing comfort on everything in store or online. Take advantage of great prices, interest-free financing, and free local delivery and setup.
City Mattress, family owned and operated since 1964.
At New South, we know your home is your sanctuary, your place for safety and security. Your New South windows are custom built in our factory and designed to keep the elements where they belong, outside. So turn up the quality with New South Window. We install peace of mind with our lifetime guarantee. Be
for limited time only, save 35% off all windows and doors.
As we head into hurricane season, it's important to know if you're in an evacuation zone. Click on the Know Your Zone map, type in your address, and see if you're in a flood area. If you are in an evacuation zone, listen to orders from local officials. You can find this map on WPBF.com. Now to Indian River County, where there's been a surge of people moving to the Treasure Coast. Meteorologist Vanessa Vanette is in Vero Beach.
This is a storm surge map
Our main areas of storm surge is anything east of US 1, and there's also low-lying areas within the community.
Emergency Management Coordinator Ryan Lloyd is always looking out for the community.
We need to be out in our communities. We need to be able to be approachable, and that people can come up and ask you questions, and that you shake hands, and that you're able to get names and whatnot. That develops community trust, and this is critical in today's world.
Indian River Emergency Operations Service Director David Johnson wants to make sure people are prepared.
What's the most important item that you recommend?
Food and water. Food and water and battery. Something to use for if they do not have a generator, or something they can use for electricity, to have battery operated radios, battery operated lights.
If you have questions or need to evacuate, pet-friendly shelters are available. Special needs shelters will also be open and offer transportation.
They can call the Emergency Operations Center here at 772-226-3900 and put their name on the list.
If you prepare ahead of time, it's going to reduce the stress that you have on your own self and also your home and your household to have those supplies already ready, and that way you can make a decision if you need to evacuate or shelter in place or go to a public shelter.
Coming up, the number you need so you don't get ripped off. Plus, the ways the First Warning Weather Team is involved in your community. Here's myth number 5.
Powerful winds are the most dangerous part of a hurricane. Actually, 25% of deaths are caused by flooding rains during a hurricane, and over 50% by storm surge, the piling up of water along the coast that moves inland. In total, 80% of deaths are caused by water, less than 10% by wind.
From the runways of New York and Paris to Mario Pucci Bocca, over 2,000 beautiful dresses and gowns in stock daily. Sizes 00 through 26, now with shoes and jewelry to match. Mario Pucci Bocca, where every lady who walks through our door is our most important customer.
WPBF 25 First Warning Weather, certified most accurate for 11 years.
I was hit by a car. It was a hit and run. I was able to get in touch with Kogan and DeSalvo, and I didn't have to worry about anything. They took care of the insurance company, the hospitals, the doctors.
Call Kogan and DeSalvo right now. The call is free.
Our southern weather is unpredictable.
We know you've seen a thing or two, like heavy rainstorms, extreme heat, and flying debris.
Your New South windows are custom built for your home and designed for extreme conditions.
That's why you need New South by your side. Enjoy comfort, safety, and security.
We install peace of mind with our lifetime guarantee. Superior Windows, Factory Direct.
New South proud. For a limited time only, save 35% off all windows and doors.
There were two guys. Both guys drove to work. Neither guy wore their seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. Both guys drove home from work. One guy wore his seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. One guy didn't.
Is it finally time to replace that banged up floor with a durable and beautiful laminate floor? Well, we've got you covered. At National Floors Direct, you can get an entire room of laminate flooring installed the next day for just $555. Just $555. These laminate floors from world famous Shaw can take a beating and still look great. Call 888-400-FLOOR. Get your laminate floor installed the next day, no hidden extras, and no interest for 1 year. Call 888-400-FLOOR. We'll bring the store to your door.
And right now, McDonald's is serving up amazing everyday deals like these at a great price. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
When I was your age, we never had anything like this.
What, Wi-Fi?
Wi-Fi that works all over the house, even the basement.
The basement? So I can finally throw that party and invite Shannon Barnes.
Dreams do come true. That's wall-to-wall Wi-Fi with Xfinity. Get started with Xfinity Internet for $35 a month for 12 months and get free Wi-Fi equipment included. Or ask how to save $1,000 over T-Mobile in your first year when you add mobile. Switch today. From the runways of New York and Paris to Mario Pucci Bocca, over 2,000 beautiful dresses and gowns in stock daily. Sizes 00 through 26, now with shoes and jewelry to match. Mario Pucci Bocca, where every lady who walks through our door is our most important customer.
During the chaos, people will try to cash in on a natural disaster. Call 1-866 966-7226 to report price gouging. Some of the most common complaints are about gas, water, plywood, and other necessary hurricane supplies. Now to Okeechobee, where meteorologist Brooke Silverang talked to the sheriff and the new head of the EOC to talk about the lessons they've learned from the past.
In April 2023, Earl Wooden took over as the new public safety director.
We're just continuing to work with our partners and develop our plans and strengthen our plans for this upcoming hurricane season through our different agencies and organizations that we work with throughout the year.
One of those partners is Sheriff Noel Stephen.
We historically are an evacuation route.
Sheriff Stephen has seen his fair share of storms in Okeechobee County, where more than 40,000 people call home.
We now have generators. We've got some light plants that we purchased from some monies from the Florida Sheriff's Association that we can put on our lights, so when the power goes out, our traffic lights will still function. They've got a light system there, so our deputies are seeing, they're not in the dark. And, those lessons we've learned from previous storms.
The main roads in Okeechobee are State Road 70 and 710, which means people can evacuate either the east or west coast.
During Hurricane Ian, we had some issues with the hurricane evacuation routes, and we had some of our roadways got backed up, and I'd have a lot of law enforcement presence out there to kind of help with the traffic and the backups that occurred.
Even though Okeechobee is in the middle of the state, far from the Atlantic Ocean and the Gulf of Mexico, people who live there must remember it's still a target.
We are, again, pretty rural, and we do get, at times, the lesser from the storm than those on the coast would get.
There's been debate on whether we should add a Category 6.
Next on Hurricane Ready, the debate over whether monster storms need a new category of their own. Shane Wright, Yanni Caracas, only on WPBF 25 Sports.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
It's on everyone's minds, crushing inflation from food to gas to housing. Costs are rising and there's no end in sight. But don't worry, I'm here for you. I'm Jeff Rawson, and every week I help you save money and beat inflation with high-tech apps, free technology, and insider tips. We're gonna help you save money to beat inflation. Watch Rawson Reports every week right here on WPBF 25 News.
As Floridians, we know that storms are a part of life, and hurricane season is here. That's why it's more important than ever to be prepared. At FPL, we're working every day year-round to get ready for storm season. And we want to make sure you're ready too. That's why it's crucial to develop a plan, stock up on supplies, and secure your home before severe weather hits. For a detailed storm guide, visit fpl.com/storm and download our mobile app to get real-time updates, track outages, and report any issues. At FPL, we work to keep you safe and informed throughout storm season. We're ready.
It's raining!
Are you? Don't wait until it's too late. Get ready today. FPL, working for you every single day.
Check your email. It just went on the market. Knowing how much this house means to you, I put together an offer. It's so good to see you. I have to show you something. Are you ready?
Hi, I'm Dr. Ellie Friedman with One Solution Dental Implant Centers. Are you ready for a transformative dental experience? At One Solution Dental Implant Centers, we combine the art of craftsmanship with advanced technology and a fully digital outcome. Ditch the metal framework and embrace the future of beautiful, durable teeth. Because at One Solution Dental Implant Centers, we prioritize your comfort and the beauty. Come Come join our One Solution family.
Our First Warning Weather Team releases our exclusive hurricane season forecast at the beginning of March. Based on current patterns, we may see tropical development in the Gulf of Mexico that could impact South Florida between July 9th through 15th and August 26th through September 1st. You can learn more on WPBF.com. Hurricanes are rated on a scale of 1 to 5. The higher the speed, the higher the category. But now more powerful storms are becoming more common. As Hurricane Ian came closer to the West Coast, it reached peak intensity as a Cat 5 before landfall. In 2019, Hurricane Dorian, another Category 5 monster with winds reaching 185 miles per hour, tore apart the Bahamas.
It came over the roof. I would imagine 21 feet at least.
1 year prior, it was Michael's turn, a Cat 5 to nearly wipe out Mexico Beach in Florida's Panhandle.
It's not rocket science. You make the oceans warmer. It's the heat of the oceans, of the tropical oceans, that provides the energy that intensifies these storms.
Right now, a Category 5 is an open-ended category with any sustained winds over 157 miles per hour. Dr. Michael Weiner in the Berkeley lab did a study finding the Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale fails to tell the full story of higher wind speeds. There's been debate on whether we should add a Category 6 to the hurricane, the Saffir-Simpson scale.
The Saffir-Simpson scale itself is not an adequate mechanism to warn the public of the danger of an impending storm. The strongest storms are getting stronger. We set our hypothetical Category 6 boundary at 192 miles an hour, and indeed 5 storms, all of which were in the Pacific, have reached that intensity. And they're all been in the last 10 years, the first being Typhoon Haiyan, which devastated the Philippines in 2013.
It's all part of what's called rapid intensification, an increase in wind speeds 35 miles per hour or more in 24 hours, fueled by warm waters and little wind shear.
We are concerned particularly about the Gulf of Mexico, not so much about the open Atlantic, but the Gulf of Mexico does have conditions that the perfect storm, if it happened on the wrong day, could reach these intensities.
However, Jamie Rome, the acting director of NOAA's National Hurricane Center, says the same idea has been brought up over the past 25 years. He believes a new category will not be beneficial.
There has been no known storm in the Atlantic to date that would have reached this Category 6 level. So it's a lot of hype with not a lot of information.
Buy more, save more during the extended Memorial Day sale at BrandSmart USA. Mix top selected brands and save up to $1,000 plus no interest if paid in full within 24 months. Going on now at BrandSmart USA.
South Florida is watching WPBF 25.
Every homeowner needs a roofing partner at some point.
Our team at Global Roofing brings the necessary qualifications, experience, and dedication to your job.
You can count on our exceptional service and attention to detail. Our experienced Global Roofing team can help you navigate the insurance claim process and deliver a superior roof replacement. When you think of roofing, think local and go global. Visit goglobalroofing.com or call to get a free, no-obligation roofing inspection.
I went into medicine really to help people live better lives. My father-in-law had a heart attack very early in his life and unfortunately passed away, and I saw how devastating it was. The most rewarding thing that I do every day is being able to be successful at what we do. My name is Dr. Vivek Patel. I'm a cardiothoracic surgeon at Jupiter Medical Center. Cardiothoracic surgeon is a surgeon dedicated to treating diseases in the chest. Here at Jupiter Medical Center, we're able to offer minimally invasive heart valve surgery, which is often associated with people recovering faster and having less pain after surgery. Doing this work every day, there's a great team, there's an experienced team that are able to do this safely and reproduce the results over and over again. People are happy when they come here.
With Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Don't worry, help is on the way.
With any of Life Alert's 3 emergency systems, help can be summoned immediately, and batteries never need charging.
I was having a stroke, and I was scared to death.
If it weren't for Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
Life Alert is a lifesaver.
My husband is alive because of Life Alert.
Life Alert is the lifesaver to keep me out of assisted living.
Life Alert saves a life every 11 minutes.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-808-1941. That's 1-800-808-1941. Call now. 1-800-808-1941.
Hot furniture financing offers during the extended Memorial Day sale at BrandsMart USA. Save on furniture, mattresses, and more. Plus 60-month interest-free financing on qualifying purchases $4.99 and above for a limited time only at BrandsMart USA.
One of the best ways to get yourself hurricane ready this year is just to go to WPBF.com. Meteorologist Vanessa Vanette has more on our WPBF 25 First Warning Weather Hurricane Ready Guide.
The Hurricane Guide is packed with useful storm advice. Let's begin with what to do before and after a storm when a hurricane watch or warning is issued. Make sure you have a family plan. There's a checklist to review. One of those important tasks, fill up your car with gas. You'll also find tips on staying safe during a storm. For example, keep in mind during a hurricane, be alert for tornadoes. And make sure the storm has completely passed before going outside. Also in the guide, a list of shelters for each county, including pet-friendly or special needs shelters too. You can find everything on WPBF.com.
And we've already started our Hurricane Ready Awareness campaign. Our grassroots effort is even bigger this year. Local communities, nonprofits, and neighborhood organizations can sign up to have a member of the WPBF 25 First Warning Weather Team come speak to them about getting hurricane ready. To sign up or see a list of hurricane ready events, go to WPBF.com. If a storm hits and you aren't near your TV or you lose power, we're committed to keeping you informed. You can listen to our live coverage on our trusted radio partners listed right there on your screen. Hurricane season is here, and you can count on us to keep you safe and informed, because that's our #1 priority. Again, thanks for watching. Goodbye from Hutchinson Island.